So see, I think she is just sit on her lecture and वो कहीं पे और होगी, whatever. Yes, Nikita, tell me.
Trypanosoma brucei.
So it's not brucei, it's cruzi, I think. So just check the species name. It should be cruzi, C-R-U-Z-I. Okay, या फिर cruzi या फिर Gambians is the another species name, Gambias. Okay, so these are two types of trypanosoma. You are correct. It is a trypanosoma, which is a protist which causes the sleeping sickness. Okay. Then the lichens is a symbiotic relationship between dash and dash. Swayam, yes, Swayam. Okay, तुम्हारा आवाज नहीं आ रहा है स्वयं, so lichen is symbiotic relationship between dash and dash. Okay, I think Swayam is facing some network issues. So Sagar, tell me Sagar.
Fungus and algae.
Yeah, it's fungus and algae. So what is a fungal component of lichen known as or called as? क्या बोलते हो उसको fungal component को? Anyone? Yes, Naviresh?
Mycobiome,
Yeah, and algal component?
phycobiome.
Yeah, very good. So it is mycobiont and the phycobiont which makes up the symbiotic relationship and it is known as lichen. It is an indicator of which pollution? Anyone? Lichens are indicator of dash pollution. क्या इंडिकेट करते हैं वो? Yes, Pranay? You are not audible. I think तुम्हारा mic. Just take the volume and on settings. Anyone else? I think he is not able to. There is some issues. I don't know. I am not able to hear you, Pranay. कोई और बताएगा? Lichens are indicator of dash.
Air pollution.
Yeah, very good, Girish. It's air pollution. Okay. Then dash is a fungus used for a genetic and molecular studies. Yes, Sahil?
Saccharomyces cerevisiae.
Right. Dash is a fungus used for genetic and molecular studies. Yeah, S. cerevisiae also use करते हैं. Sorry, S. cerevisiae also use करते हैं. I'm not saying no, but बहुत ज़्यादा जो studies हुआ है, that is on. It is not Saccharomyces. It is something else. खुशी कौन सा फंगस हो सकता है? Aman, which fungus is used for genetic and molecular studies? बोलो बोलो जल्दी बोलो. So that is the reason तुम लोग को पढ़ने के लिए बोला था. And it seems किसी ने भी नहीं पढ़ा है. He is mad and he keep on telling. No, Girish, yeast is nothing but Saccharomyces cerevisiae जो already उसने बोला था. But that is not the one. पढ़ो बच्चों पढ़ो. It's Neurospora.
Sir,
Yes, Sharon. बोलो.
सर क्वेश्चन
स्लाइड पे दिख रहा है, राइट? आई एम नॉट द स्लाइड इज विजिबल, राइट?
सर मैं अभी है, मेरे को पता नहीं कौन सा क्वेश्चन.
ओके, तो क्वेश्चन था दैट इज अ फंगस यूज्ड फॉर जेनेटिक एंड मॉलिक्यूलर स्टडीज. अब आंसर मैंने बता दिया था, इट इज न्यूरोस्पोरा. ओके, फाइन. देन व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ फंगी? यस अनुज.
Sir, phycomycetes,
Hmm.
comycetes, and basidiomycetes.
ओके, तीन ही हुआ, और एक बता.
और
देयर आर 4 टाइप्स, राइट? ये तीन ही टाइप्स है.
सर और एक deuteromocytes
Yeah,
करके.
so you're right, but then we pronounce it as phycomycetes. Mycete मतलब fungi, so it's phycomycetes, ascomycetes, basidiomycetes, and deuteromycetes. Okay, these are the 4 major types of fungi. Okay, and there are 4 common names also. तो phycomycetes को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं?
एल्गल फंगस.
Fungi.
Yes, yeah, wait, Sharon. And what is the another name for ascomycete?
Sir, sac fungi.
Yeah, very good. And for basidiomycetes?
Club fungi, na?
Yeah, club fungi. Yes. Now wait. Yes, Madhuresh. What is the common name for deuteromycetes?
Imperfect fungi.
Very good. Why it is imperfect?
सर क्योंकि वो शायद रिप्रोडक्शन वन टाइप से ही करता है.
हाँ. What is that one type? There are 2 types of reproduction. Yeah, very good. It is asexual reproduction. So there are 2 types of reproduction generally, sexual and asexual. The deuteromycetes, which are also called as imperfect fungi, mainly reproduced by asexual reproduction only. Okay, that's right. Now dash is known as a Baker's yeast.
सैक्रोमाइसिस.
Yeah, Sharon, wait. You just need to raise your hands. There are other also, right? So it's Saccharomyces cerevisiae, correct? The cell wall of a fungus is composed of dash. Yeah, Kanak. The cell wall of a fungus is composed of. Yes, Sahin.
Glucan, chitin.
Yeah, it is chitin, and it's not glucanoglycan, it's just chitin. और chitin का जो monomer है, that is N-acetyl glucosamine. Okay, so you just need to mention it as a chitin, okay, which is a polymer. Then dash are the smallest living forms on Earth. Yes, Swayam. Again, you are not audible to us. Which are the smallest living forms? Okay, I hope so. You are trying to answer, but तुम्हारा आवाज नहीं आ रहा है. So I don't know exactly तुम क्या बोल रहे हो. But I believe तुमने right बोला. या भूषण, tell me.
Bacteria,
हाँ, bacteria, but which type of bacteria?
nanobacteria.
Sorry, तुमने क्या बोला? Bacteria, correct. वो है, but कौन सा? There is one particular group हम लोगों ने study किया था. Yes, Mayuresh.
Mycoplasma.
Yeah, it is mycoplasma, which is the smallest living form. Now, why mycoplasmas are resistant to antibiotics? Yes, Manali?
They have no cell wall.
Yeah, so cell wall is upstream. That's why they are more of like resistant to antibiotics, because many antibiotics are actually targeting the cell wall synthesis. So cell wall synthesis inhibit करने के लिए उनके पास है ही नहीं. That's why they are resistant to antibiotics. Correct. The sexual reproduction in bacteria occurs by dash method. Sexual reproduction in bacteria. Bacteria में होता है क्या? पहली बात तो question is there sexual reproduction kind of process happens in bacteria? होता है या फिर?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me, Sharon, which is the method?
Conjugation method.
Very good. It's conjugation method by which the bacteria can reproduce sexually. And what kind of organelle is involved in this particular process? किसके थ्रू करते हैं वो sexual reproduction?
Pillai.
Yeah, very good. Because they do not really produce any kind of gametes, right? So it is the pili which actually helps in the transfer of genetic material from one cell or one bacteria to another bacteria. That's correct. Now, these last three are very basic questions. I really expect that कम से कम आधा बैच तो हैंडल करेगा, हैंडल करेगा. Okay. So what is systematics? Define systematics. Yes, Shruti.
So systematics is the study of diversity and kinds of organisms, and they are evolutionary relationship, comparative evolutionary relationships.
Yeah. So it is systematic study of diversity and different types of organisms considering their genetic evolutionary relationship. Yeah, that's correct. Then what is taxonomy? Someone else कौन बताएगा? प्रचेत. प्रचेत. Okay, Sanjay.
Save your last 3 centimeters. You work it.
So Sanjay Patil. Yeah. What is taxonomy?
डोकेदुखी अंगदुखी खोकला अशी 10 लक्षणं बरी करतात.
Anar, you're
10 फरक मिळवते.
The branch of science that which is concerned with classification, especially of organisms.
but then a typical standard definition. What is the meaning of taxonomy? The two words. Sanjay, if you are saying something, तुझा आवाज येत नाही. Okay, त्यामुळे just check कि तुझा mic is proper. Speakers and all. Okay. Anuj, tell me. What is taxonomy?
Taxonomy means the classification following the certain rules or principles.
Yeah, very good. So this is taxonomy. And now, what is classification and then give its types? Yes, Manali.
It is the arrangement of organisms or group of organisms in distinct categories.
Yeah.
And
What?
types are artificial, natural, and phylogenetic.
Very good. So these are three types of classification. Apart from that, if you remember, there are different ways in which we had tried to study classification. Can anyone just enlist those things, like the ways which we can use? These are types of classification, correct? तो अभी कोई मुझे बताएगा कि और क्या क्या वे में हम लोग स्टडी कर सकते हैं क्लासिफिकेशन का?
Species.
नहीं, if you remember, there is like chemotaxonomy,
Numerical taxonomy, cladogram, DNA
Yeah.
barcoding, phylogeny.
Yeah, so these are 5 methods which generally can be used for studying the taxonomy. Or classification can be done based on this. So with this, I'm stopping the revision part here, and I really advise you all right now to please read, because अगर नहीं पढ़ोगे तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम होने वाला है तुम लोग को बाद में. I understand ऑनलाइन है, इतना शायद फोकस नहीं हो पा रहा है. I don't know, whatever the reasons are, that is not really giving you an excuse कि हम लोग नहीं पढ़ेंगे. Okay, and it's very difficult कि एक एक को उठा के उनका नाम लो फिर भी people are not responding. मतलब what to say now? और कुछ बोला भी तो people will say अरे network issue था. So from my side, this is what I can do, and I expect that a little bit more response from your side so that we can make it more interactive. और तुम लोग को समझ रहा है ये मुझे समझे. That is more important. Nothing is important than your understanding. समझा? जितना तुम लोग को समझ रहा है नहीं समझ रहा है, you ask me and I will repeat it. No issues with that. But please समझो and reply करो if someone is asking you some questions. Okay. So with this now we are moving ahead. So 3 kingdoms हम लोगों ने पढ़ लिए थे, Monera, Protista and fungi. Today we will continue with the next 2 kingdoms, that is the Plantae and Animalia. So I don't think I need to explain you anything about plants because you all now till now in a very different topics मैंने already बहुत कुछ बात किया है about Plantae. So these are mainly eukaryotic organisms which are considered as autotrophs. Autotrophs मतलब they can make their own food using the process of which process they use?
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis.
What is photosynthesis?
सनलाइट को कन्वर्ट करते केमिकल कंपोजिशन.
हाँ, sunlight को convert करते हैं.
Preparation of glucose and
Light
water with the
energy-
help of
light
carbon
energy
dioxide
को-
and sunlight.
So what is a raw material? Yeah, I agree. So sunlight use करते हैं, glucose बनाते हैं, understood. But ये जो ग्लूकोज बनता है, ग्लूकोज क्या है? ग्लूकोज का किसी को स्ट्रक्चर याद है? हम लोगों ने आई थिंक ये बायोमोलिक्यूल्स में तुम लोग को मैंने बताया भी था, राइट?
Yes.
तो ग्लूकोज किससे बनता है? क्या एलिमेंट्स होते हैं ग्लूकोज में?
कार्बन, हाइड्रोजन, ऑक्सीजन.
हाँ, तो तुमने जस्ट अभी बोला शरण दैट सनलाइट इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू केमिकल एनर्जी. तो सनलाइट में ये सब होता है क्या, कार्बन वगैरह?
नहीं.
तो क्या उसका रॉ मटेरियल क्या होता है? आई एग्री, तुम लोग सही हो. इट इज फॉर्मेशन ऑफ ग्लूकोज यूजिंग सनलाइट. बट उसका जो रॉ मटेरियल है, उसमें जो रिएक्टेंट्स है वो क्या रहेगा?
वाटर,
या
Carbon dioxide.
सॉइल.
So these are 2 components which are water and क्या बोला किसी ने और?
Carbon dioxide.
Yeah, very good, very good. It is water and carbon dioxide which are actually converted into glucose with the help of sunlight. And which pigment we generally prefer?
क्लोरोप्लास्ट.
Chlorophylls. Okay, so chlorophyll is the primary photosynthetic pigment. That is also chlorophyll A is a primary photosynthetic pigment. Apart from that, there are other pigments also. Can anyone tell me what are the other pigments जो हम लोगों ने last lecture में discuss किए थे? Apart from chlorophyll A, what all other pigments are there?
कैरोटीन,
Hmm?
क्लोरोफिल बी,
Hmm?
xanthophyll.
Very good. So chloroplasts, xanthophylls, chlorophyll B. These are few other pigments which are also present in the chloroplast, and they actually also support the process of photosynthesis. But chlorophyll A is the one which is considered as the primary pigment. Okay. So there are few of these plants are actually, so mostly the kingdom Plantae is full of autotrophs, but there are always exceptions, and it also includes some semi-autotrophic members as well. So when I say semi-autotrophic members, what do I mean by this? तो इसका मतलब ऐसा है कि there are some plants, तो जब भी उनके पास कुछ रहेगा available food, they will not go for the photosynthesis. Rather, they will take up the already ready-made food और उसको खा लेंगे वो लोग. So it includes mainly the insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants मतलब the plants which actually eat the insects. And the examples are Venus flytrap, pitcher plant, bladderwort. These are some plants जो actually insects को खाते हैं और digest करते हैं. They actually have the system which can digest such kind of insects. Okay, so these are considered as the semi-autotrophic plants. Apart from that, there are also some plants which are considered as heterotrophic. मतलब completely dependent on something else, and that includes the parasitic plant known as Cuscuta. What is the common name for Cuscuta? जिसने देखा Cuscuta कैसे रहता है? What is Cuscuta? Anyone देखा है किसी plant के around Cuscuta? येलो कलर का थ्रेड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर, commonly known as amarvel in Marathi, and I think Hindi also they call it amarvel only. So you can see there are few plants, मतलब ऐसा हरे भरे plants रहते हैं, उसके बाजू में you will just see the yellow color का thread like structure, बहुत जैसा dense रहता है. So this yellow color का dense like structure is nothing but a cuscuta, which is a plant parasite, like which is a parasitic plant. Okay, तो वो खुद कुछ नहीं करता. It is yellow color. Why it is yellow color? Because it does not require pigments. Why? Why do you think इसको pigment की जरूरत नहीं है और yellow color का क्यों है?
ऑटोट्रॉफ नहीं है,
हाँ, ऑटोट्रॉफ नहीं है तो वो क्या करेगा?
फोटोसिंथेसिस नहीं करेगा।
हाँ, बिकॉज वो एनीवे इट इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन द होस्ट प्लांट, तो उसके पास पिगमेंट हो या ना हो कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता, वो अपना न्यूट्रिशन होस्ट से ही लेने वाला है. दैट्स व्हाई विद इवोल्यूशन उसका वो सिस्टम शायद चला गया रहेगा. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज येलो इन कलर एंड कंसीडर्ड एज अ हेटेरोट्रॉपिक प्लांट. ओके, all the members of this particular plant planted kingdom are mostly multicellular. There are few unicellular also. If you go to algae, there are few algae which are unicellular synthetic algas, but mainly most of the members are multicellular. Okay, and they actually are eukaryotic in nature and contains chlorophyll, which is a characteristic feature. Their cell wall is mostly made up of cellulose. Okay. And the plants exhibit alteration and generation. Now, what is this alteration of generation? You will study all these things in detail when you will be starting the kingdom Plante chapter. Okay, so kingdom Plante में तुम लोग detail में ये सब पढ़ने वाले. That's why they have not given anything in a depth as a part of this particular chapter. Okay, so when we say alteration of generation, it means there are two life cycles in a particular plant's life. Those two life cycles are nothing but called as sporophyte, which is a diploid stage, and gametophyte, which is a haploid stage. Okay, so these are the two life stages we can say in a plant's life, a diploid egg or a haploid egg, which helps in further reproduction and generation kind of thing. So you will be studying these two kind of life cycle phases in your kingdom Plante chapter. But for now, what you want to keep in mind that the plant exhibits alternation of generation, and that is it has a two distinct life cycle phases. Those are known as sporophyte and gametophyte. I repeat, sporophyte and gametophyte. Okay, and the next point you already know, the kingdom Plante is mainly divided into two major groups, cryptogame and phanerogame. Okay, so this is all they have given as an overview of the kingdom Plante. What all things are included in the kingdom Plante? So the kingdom Plante is mainly divided into two groups first. सबसे पहला is a plant, which is a group which contains a plant in which the body is not well differentiated. When I say is not well differentiated, what do I mean? It means उसको you will not see a proper as a shoot, root, leaves, flowers kind of system. It is not a well differentiated. मतलब एक छोटा सा part रहेगा, but not that evolved. Okay, and it includes the group Halophyta. Halophyta मतलब जो algae रहते हैं उनका वाला family. Okay, and the another major part is the plant body is well differentiated. मतलब not completely well differentiated, but जहाँ पे you can actually differentiate your root system है, shoot system है, small leaves है, that kind of things. So now the differentiated ones are also divided into two groups. Okay, the first one is that plants that do not possess a vascular system. When I say vascular system, it means presence of xylem and phloem. What is the particular function of xylem and phloem in a plant? Can anyone tell? What is xylem and what is phloem? Okay, so xylem is a part of the plant that actually helps in the transportation of water, and phloem is a part that helps in the transportation of food like sugars and all. Okay, so based on that, there is one group of plants that do not possess this particular vascular tissue, and those are known as bryophyta. On the other side, there is another group of plants which actually contains the vascular tissue. This is called xylem and phloem together. And they are divided into three groups. The very first one is the pteridophyta, that is the plants which do not produce any kind of seeds. However, there is another category which contains plants that produce seeds, which includes angiosperm and gymnosperm. Okay, so gymnosperm is the one that bear the naked seeds, and the angiosperm is the one that actually bears the seeds that inside the fruit. मतलब gymnosperm does not produce any kind of fruits as such. Okay, but angiosperm are actually having a fruit-like structure, flowers and all they can produce. So you will study all these 5 major groups: algae or Halophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, gymnosperm, and angiosperm in your chapter Kingdom Planting. Okay, but I hope I could explain you the basic difference क्या है. तो सबसे पहले based on the differentiation, then based on the vascular tissue presence, then based on the types of seeds it's produced. That is how we study kingdom planting. Okay. Okay, now with this we are done with the kingdom planting. If you are having any questions, you can ask.
हेलो सर.
Hmm?
सर एक डाउट था, एक पूछना था आपसे कुछ.
Mm-hmm.
सर वो सनफ्लावर जो प्लांट होता है सनफ्लावर का,
हाँ.
उसमें सर आपने एक चीज ऑब्जर्व किया है क्या, जिस डायरेक्शन में सन रहता है उसी तरफ से वो सनफ्लावर का भी डायरेक्शन हो जाता है.
हाँ.
तो सर सनफ्लावर में ऐसा कुछ प्रॉपर्टी रहता है क्या कि वो अपना जो पोजीशन रहता है इधर से उधर चेंज कर सकता है?
हाँ, actually it actually had some kind of, I don't know a very detailed biology, but जितना मुझे पता है I can tell you कि उसके पास photosensitive kind of materials रहता है. मतलब the sunflower actually contains the things which are sensitive towards light. Okay, and because of that kind of thing, it actually faces towards sun. With the moment of sun, उसका भी moment change हो जाता है. But exactly उसको क्या बोलते हैं और उसका biology क्या है at this moment I do not know, but I will read and let you know in the next class. That's a good question. पर जितना मुझे पता है, the plants are actually responsive. So people have tried to study कि light के साथ plants का response कैसे होता है. So that is one case. Sound के साथ कैसे होता है, like different physical factors how they actually play a role, and sunlight is absolutely important part in case of any plant. So अभी के लिए तो I can just tell you कि it is having some kind of photosensitive component in it, but exactly वो component क्या है, I need to read and let, then I will be like at the right place to tell you exactly क्या होता है. Okay.
Yes sir.
Yeah. So that is a good question, but I will surely look into that. And then with this, we are done with the kingdom planting. Now the last kingdom in this chapter that which we need to study is the kingdom Animalia. Now you all already have studied kingdom Animalia. So now who will tell me what is kingdom Animalia? What do you
एनिमल्स
understand?
रहते हैं.
Yeah, yes, Sharon. Animals रहते हैं. तो क्या type के animals रहते हैं?
टू टाइप्स, कॉर्डेट्स रहते हैं, नॉन कॉर्डेट्स रहते हैं.
Very good. So what is chordates and what is non-chordates?
नॉन कॉर्डेट्स में नोटोकॉर्ड नहीं रहता है और कॉर्डेट्स में नोटोकॉर्ड रहते हैं.
What is notochord?
डॉर्सल सपोर्टिंग.
Yeah. So based on the presence or absence of a notochord, we call them as a chordates and non-chordates. Chordates में there is another huge group. However, non-chordates includes almost 9 different phylums. Can anyone now will tell me what are the phylums? No, Sharon. Okay, Sharon, you please don't tell. Someone else. Yes, Mayuresh. What are different phylums which are included under non-chordates?
सर हाँ, Porifera, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Nemathelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordates.
Very good, very good, very good. Now, who will tell me what all things are included under the phylum Chordata? Yes, Sharon.
यूरोकॉर्डेटा, सेफेलोकॉर्डेटा और वर्टिब्रेटा. वर्टिब्रेटा में वापस जॉलेस, जॉ प्रेजेंट है, ग्नाटास्टोमेटा और अग्नाटा. उसके बाद ग्नाटास्टोमेटा में वापस फीसिस और टेट्रापोडा. फीसिस में वापस कॉन्ड्रीसाइट्स एंड ओस्टिसाइट्स और टेट्रापोडा में एम्फीबिया, एव्स, मैमेलिया, रेप्टिली.
Very good. So that's all about the kingdom animal. So I will not go in detail because I think सबको ये सब पता है, just what Mayuresh and Sharon ने जो explain किया. So we will just see a very broad features of this kingdom Animalia because तुम लोग को already हो चुका है. So members of this particular kingdom are heterotrophs because we cannot do any kind of photosynthesis like that, or a chemosynthesis or a chemotrophic process. Okay, and they are mostly shows holozoic nutrition. Now, anyone, what is holozoic nutrition? No one knows. Kingdom Animal में नहीं था क्या? So it is kind of internalization of the food and then digesting it internally. So that is what we say holozoic nutrition. So हम लोग खाते हैं, हम लोग digest करते हैं, then excretion होता है. That is kind of a holozoic nutrition mode. Okay, and we all know plants and animals are mainly differentiated based on their ability of locomotion. So we all know plants cannot move from one place to other. However, animals can do so. Okay. Also, within animals, there are few animals which do not really show a good kind of movement. What do such kind of animals called as? क्या बोलते हैं ऐसे
Sedentary
animals?
animals.
Yeah,
Sedentary.
very good. Sedentary animals. Okay. Example.
Cycon.
Yeah. Which phylum does it belong?
Porifera.
Porifera.
Very good. So these are a few characteristic feature of the animalia. They also, we all know they are multicellular eukaryotics and they do not have any kind of cell wall and the chloroplast like organelles, so they cannot do photosynthesis. Okay. However, in case of animals, the growth is determinate. Matlab we can just grow up to a particular time and after that the growth stops. That is called as a determinate kind of growth. Okay, so we all know we go from different phase, starting from newborn, then a typical puberty stage, then newborn, childhood, then puberty, then adult, then old person, like kind of that. Okay, so after a particular time we start aging, but there will be no growth as such. So after a puberty stage, or let's say 24, 25 के बाद, you will not grow height wise or a particular typical structural body feature cannot show any kind of growth. Okay, aging होता है, that is different, but growth is not observed, and that is why it is called as a definite pattern of growth. Okay, so this is the same thing जो तुम लोगों ने अभी just मुझे explain किया very nicely. So we all know there are 5 kingdoms, of which kingdom Animalia is one of the important one, which includes Porifera, Nidaria, Platyhelminthes, Nemathelminthes, Annelida, Mollusca, Arthropoda, Echinodermata, and all. And then Chordata, as they have already explained. So I will not go in detail because it's not needed, I think. और एक chapter में दिया भी नहीं है. Okay, so that is all about the kingdom Animalia, because since you already have studied in another chapter, or you will be studying mostly, अगर किसी का नहीं हुआ है वो chapter, so that's why they have not given any kind of details in this particular chapter, because anyway you are going to study it in a next chapter. So if you are still having any questions, any doubts regarding kingdom Animalia also, you are free to ask. Okay, so don't hesitate at any point. Now with this हम लोगों ने 5 kingdom खत्म किए. So just tell me the names of 5 kingdoms which we have done.
Monera,
Hmm?
Protista,
Hmm?
Fungi, Plantae, Animalia.
Yeah. So, but then still there are few things which are really not so. Tell me which. Why? Okay. Sorry. So tell me now, all of us are facing a problem of COVID-19 pandemic. What do you think? ये COVID-19 कौन से kingdom में जाएगा?
Virus.
वायरस को कौन सी kingdom में डालेंगे हम? या नहीं डालेंगे तो क्यों नहीं डालेंगे? Anyone? वायरस
दोनों प्रॉपर्टी दिखाते हैं, लिविंग और नॉन लिविंग का.
Very good. So he has very correctly said that virus shows two important properties, like it can be living also and non-living also after a certain point. So basically, we generally don't point as a living, non-living. We generally say it is a one which is a active or inactive generally, and it is considered as a connecting link between the living and non-living organism. Now, why so? That we will be studying in the next part. That is a cellular organisms, which includes viruses, viroids, and a similar kind of organisms, which are not really included into any kind of Whitaker's five kingdom classification because their properties are not matching with any of the five kingdoms. तो इट वाज अ बिग क्वेश्चन कि उनको कहाँ पे ऐड करें, बट कहाँ पे ऐड करें टू ऐड वी ऑल नो द किंगडम सिस्टम इज बेस्ड ऑन द फाइलोजेनेटिक एनालिसिस एंड स्पेसिफिक फीचर्स. हर एक किंगडम का अपना अपना स्पेसिफिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर्स है. तो अगर कोई भी किंगडम के साथ मैच नहीं हो रहा है so there is no point in putting them in a particular kingdom. That's why then after a lot of scientific discussions and all, they came to a conclusion that the viruses and viroids should be studied separately and not as a part of any kingdom. Okay, so that's why they are called as cellular organisms and they are studied separately. So let's talk about the viruses. It is a very brief discussion they have given. There is no much details as such, but then we will see. Okay, so viruses, the first time it was named by Louis Pasteur. Okay, you must know who is Louis Pasteur. He was a bacteriologist and he is also known as father of pasteurization. किसको पता है what is pasteurization?
हीट करके कूल करके.
Yeah, very good. कौन से कंपोनेंट्स के लिए हम लोग यूज करते हैं pasteurization?
जो जल्दी खराब हो जाते हैं.
एग्जांपल दे सकते हो कोई मुझे?
मिल्क अमूल
मिल्क
मिल्क.
प्रोडक्ट.
Yeah, all the milk products generally we go for pasteurization. जहाँ हम लोग उसको, so there are different types of pasteurization also. There is a fast pasteurization, slow pasteurization, flash pasteurization, जहाँ पे हम लोग very high temperature पे सिर्फ few seconds के लिए उसको expose करते हैं. So this is some types of things, and the whole funda of doing the pasteurization is to kill any kind of living organisms which might be present in a milk and can spoil the milk after some time. तो वो सब एलिमिनेट करने के लिए हम लोग पास्चराइजेशन प्रोसेस करते हैं, एंड दिस प्रोसेस वाज एक्चुअली डिस्कवर्ड बाय दिस साइंटिस्ट नोन एज लुइस पास्चर, एंड ही इज द वन हु एक्चुअली गिव द नेम बेस्ड ऑन द थिंग दैट he considered viruses as a venom or a poison like thing, and that's why the venom or poison ये जो things है उसको Latin word is like more of towards virus. So virus मतलब venom or poison in a Latin. These organisms are actually obligate parasites. That is the reason we generally say ना कि वो living है और non-living है sometimes. Obligate parasite का मतलब है they can just grow and infect whenever they are present within a particular host system. Okay? जब भी वो host के बाहर रहेगा वो कुछ काम का नहीं रहेगा. मतलब कुछ काम का है they will be in a dormant state. More of like it will not cause any kind of infection. But the moment it enters into a particular living cell, it will start growing and infecting. Okay, based on that, it was given a name virus by a scientist known as M.J. Bejernek, okay, who actually had observed that the viruses can actually migrate in an agar gel. So agar gel is a vertical, there are multiple agar gel is a method where actually like there are multiple ways we actually grow bacteria and fungus and all. Okay, so agar gel पे हम लोग कभी bacteria grow करते हैं. So there are some viruses which actually infect the bacteria. So it was observed that जब bacteria को virus ने infect किया था, you can actually see there are different zones in our agar. Now I do not really have images for the same, but I will see if I get some kind of some images so लोगों अच्छे समझ में. The whole point थी उसने एक experiment किया था जिसमें उसने agar gel use किया था. Agar gel is something like gel-like material. Okay, and he observed that the virus can migrate. Okay, so that is the one study which he has shown. Okay, and based on that he said that being an infectious soluble agent, he gave the term known as contagium vivum fluidum. Okay, इसका मतलब है ये लैटिन टर्म से contagium vivum fluidum, इसका मतलब है contagious living fluid. Now उसने क्यों ऐसा बोला उसको So he had actually done one experiment on a tobacco plant. तो उसने क्या किया था, टोबैको प्लांट लिया था एक नॉर्मल और एक जिसको वो डिसीज दिख रहा था बाहर से, यू कैन सी विजिबली यू कैन सी कि देयर इज सम काइंड ऑफ प्रॉब्लम इन द प्लांट. देन उसने दोनों प्लांट्स को उसका एक्सट्रैक्ट निकाला एंड देन ही आइडेड दैट बोथ द प्लांट्स का थिंग ना उसने दूसरे प्लांट के साथ कांटेक्ट में लाया. ओके तो जब उसने देखा कि द नॉर्मल प्लांट का एक्सट्रैक्ट किसी और के कांटेक्ट में आ रहा था, किसी और प्लांट के कांटेक्ट में आ रहा था, there was no infection, but the another plant which was normal initially, but the moment he brought it in contact with the extract from this particular infected plant, even that plant started developing a kind of infection. So this is kind of situation, and based on that it said that जो उसने fluid जो extract use किया था, that is actually a contagious living fluid. That fluid actually contains something which can cause an infection. Okay, that's why this term was very much famous at that time and even today, that contagious living fluid, which is known as contagium vivum fluidum in Latin. Okay, after that the scientists actually started focusing on the viruses. People were very unaware at that point कि virus जैसा भी कुछ होता है क्या, because already microbiology was at very beginning stage, initial stages, and उसमें भी virus का study करना is not that easy. Okay, but because of such experiments by Bergerac and all, we at least got that pioneer work done. And after that, many scientists like Stanley then came in front and he started studying the viruses, and he actually showed that the viruses are inert outside the host cell. Inert matlab they are not they are not active as such, when they are present outside the host cell, and they can be actually crystallized. Okay, the moment they enter the host cell, they get active and they can start their infection. And these viruses are actually made up of proteins. So this is a very basic information which they had obtained about the viruses. Okay, now why they do not survive outside the host cell? That is the question, right? मतलब क्यों नहीं survive कर पाते? So the reason was the viruses actually lack their own cell machinery. जैसे हम लोग को पता है कि हर एक सेल के पास उसका न्यूक्लियस रहता है, उसका थोड़े थोड़े ऑर्गेनल्स रहते हैं which actually helps it to survive, right? But in case of viruses, there is no particular cellular like structure or a particular nucleus like structure. कुछ नहीं होता. It is just one genetic material covered by protein code. Okay, and that's why it cannot do any normal function. जो कोई भी normal cell line मतलब cells कर normal prokaryotic और eukaryotic cell कर सकते हैं, वो viruses नहीं कर सकते. तो उनके पास वो facilities available नहीं है. तो उनके पास क्या है? We just have a protein code which is called as capsid, which contains a nucleic acid strand inside it. Okay, so it is just a protein and then nucleic acid, nothing else. There is no cell membrane, no cell wall, no cytoplasm, nothing. So it's 9 years to pass. Okay, and that's why we say they are lacking the cell machinery. Because of this, they are dependent on the host for their normal machinery. तो सिर्फ प्रोटीन्स और न्यूक्लिक एसिड से वो कुछ उखाड़ नहीं सकते. So the moment they enter a particular host system, what they do, they take over. Okay, and they will start utilizing now host ka system to produce their own proteins and to produce their own toxins and infective agents and proliferate more and more, which will cause an infection. मतलब हमारे ही बॉडी में आके हमारा ही सिस्टम यूज करके these viruses will keep on growing and infecting the अपना ही system, and that's why it becomes more difficult to inhibit the viral infection because it's not that easy because वो तुम्हारा ही system यूज कर रहा है. So you have to be very precise when you are treating the viral infection because you should not give something that will harm your own system. Rather, it should only harm the viral components. Okay, that's why people generally go for targeting the viral proteins, that is a capsid or a nucleic acid which it contains. Once the viruses enter the cell, they will take charge and they will use the host system and they will start their work of proliferation and infection. Okay, that's what they can be called as infectious nucleoprotein particles. This is a very common question they will ask you in exam, why viruses are called as infectious nucleoprotein particles. So you need to tell that virus do not contain their own cell machinery. It just contains the protein code and nucleic acid strand. They require a host cell to start any kind of like any kind of function like proliferation and infection. So Once they enter the particular host cell, they will take a charge and they will use cellular machinery of the host to cause any kind of infection or even for that say for a growth of purpose. And that's why they are called as the infectious nucleoprotein particles. तो यहाँ पे मैंने एक पिक्चर ऐड किया है. What is this picture all about? किसका डायग्राम दिख रहा है?
कोरोना कोरोना
कोरोना तो नाम ऑफ डिसीज है. What is the name of virus?
COVID-19.
COVID-19. Yeah, Sarthik is correct. But then there is one more scientific name you should know.
SARS
SARS.
CoV
हाँ. SARS-CoV-2.
या सर उसका फुल फॉर्म बताइए.
What is the full form?
Severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2.
So सार्थक ने बोला COVID-19. What is the full form of COVID-19? और ऐसे ही नाम दिया उसको कोविड क्यों बोलते हैं?
कोरोना
बाकी लोग क्या सो रहे हो क्या? उठो. What is the full form of COVID-19? Why it is called as COVID-19? Find out. So I want you all to do this particular homework. So what kind of virus it is? What is its name? इसका size क्या है और उसका genetic material है. Please take a picture.
RNA
Yeah. So it is single stranded or double stranded?
single
Yeah. So it is single stranded RNA of genetic material. What is the size of coronavirus?
20 to 400 600 nanometer.
नहीं. It's almost 70 to 120 or we can go till 150 maximum. Okay, इतना होता है in nanometer. Okay, and it is an animal virus. So that is just for your information because nowadays COVID is a hot topic and you might get many questions on COVID. And you should know if you are studying viruses, you should have all this kind of information. Now let's come over type of viruses. So the viruses can be classified based on two main things. The very first thing is based on its genetic material. तो अगर कोई वायरस के पास DNA as a genetic material है, तो we call them as a DNA viruses. और अगर किसी के पास RNA है, it is called as RNA viruses. But you have to keep in mind that the virus can contain either DNA or RNA. ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा that एक ही वायरस के पास DNA भी है और RNA भी. That is not possible. It is always either DNA or RNA. So based on that, we actually classify viruses as DNA viruses or RNA viruses. That is very broad kind of classification. Apart from that, we also classify viruses based on their host. कि वो कौन से type of animal organism को infect करते हैं. So based on that, there are three types of viruses: animal viruses, plant viruses, bacterial viruses. The name itself, animal viruses मतलब क्या? Viruses which infect animals. Plant viruses which are infect plant, and bacteria is like the viruses which infects bacteria. Okay, the bacterial viruses are also known as bacteriophage or phage. Okay, it is very much important. Please note it down. Bacterial viruses are known as bacteriophage or phage. Okay, now these are three images which shows exactly how the virus looks like. So this is a typical tobacco plant leaf. Okay, you can see half the yellowing हुआ है. The leaves are kind of curly. इसमें कुछ spots वगैरह दिख रहे हैं. So this is because of the virus which actually had infected the particular plant, and the virus name is TMV, tobacco mosaic virus. And this is a typical structure of virus. So यहाँ पे इन लोगों को जो ऐसे round structure दिख रहे हैं, like the petals of a flower. This is nothing but the protein code, and the single unit of this particular protein code is called as capsomere. Okay, and the entire जो green color का system दिख रहा है, that is called as a capsid. Okay, क्या बोला है मैंने? The green color thing is a protein code which is called as capsid, and वो single unit जो इसको दिख रहा है सबको, that is called as a capsomere. The tobacco mosaic virus actually contains RNA as a genetic material. So you can see this RNA structure यहाँ पे, like small bead-like structure, और उसके बीच में there is a hollow core. Okay, and then they had given this particular dimension and all, which is not that important at this moment. But the structure you should know very well. This is an example of a plant virus, and this is an example of typical bacteriophage. So you can see the bacteriophage, very well studied structure it is. So देखा मतलब it looks very strange कि ऐसा भी कोई वायरस हो सकता है क्या, मतलब ऐसा typical कोई रोबोट जैसा लगता है वो. It's like it contains 3 parts, or to be more clear, 4 parts. The very first part is a head, which is like the typical hair. So this particular structure जो तुम लोग को दिख रहा है ना, that is called as icosahedral structure, okay, or a polyhedral structure, which is a type of symmetry. मतलब ऐसा goal like a ball head रहता है, that's why. Okay, in case of bacteriophage, you will find there is a head, there is a typical core, then there is a sheath, and there is a base plate and a tail fiber. So इन लोगों को जो fibers दिख रहे हैं like a spider, these are actually structure. जब भी कोई बैक्टीरिया के ऊपर जाता है, this particular tail fibers helps into penetration. तो वो जाएगा, फिर उसका वो tail fibers ऐसे broad होके वो अंदर उसका genetic material डाल देगा. मतलब पूरा का पूरा पार्ट कभी जाता नहीं अंदर, सिर्फ उसका जेनेटिक मटेरियल अंदर जाता है, एंड देन इट विल स्टार्ट सिंथेसाइजिंग डिफरेंट स्ट्रक्चर. ओके, तो जो हेड है उसका, द हेड एक्चुअली कंटेन्स द जेनेटिक मटेरियल. ओके, सो दिस इज अ टिपिकल. सो यहाँ पे उसका दिखाया है डायग्राम, दैट इज द आई थिंक इलेक्ट्रॉन माइक्रोस्कोपिक इमेज ऑफ अ टिपिकल बैक्टीरियोफेज. नाउ स्ट्रक्चरली इट कंटेन्स 2 पार्ट, मैंने ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन किया था, दैट इज अ प्रोटीन कोट एंड अ जेनेटिक मटेरियल. सो प्रोटीन कोट इज कॉल्ड एज कैप्सिड, जैसे मैंने बोला, और उसका जो सिंगल यूनिट रहता है दैट इज कॉल्ड एज कैप्सुलियस. इट एक्चुअली शोज अ वेरी टिपिकल सिमेट्री कॉल्ड एज पॉलीहेड्रल और अ हेलिकल सिमेट्री. और उसका क्या रोल है प्रोटीन कोट का, दैट इट शुड एक्चुअली प्रोटेक्ट द जेनेटिक मटेरियल, बिकॉज कोई भी वायरस का जेनेटिक मटेरियल इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट. That's why they actually need to have a particular kind of protein coat, and that's why the capsid plays a major role here. The second important part of this particular virus is genetic material. As I mentioned, it can be either DNA or RNA. But अगर DNA भी है तो it can be single stranded DNA or a double stranded DNA. और अगर RNA भी है तो it can be single stranded RNA or a double stranded RNA. So depending on कौन सा type का virus वो है, there will be different type of genetic material you will observe. Okay, and you all now know that the viruses that actually infect the bacterial cells are called as bacteriophages, and they actually contains a double-stranded DNA as a genetic material. Okay, this is just a structure point of view. What you need to keep in mind that every virus contains 2 components. One is protein coat, and the another one is a genetic material. Okay. Now these are some of the examples of the virus. So if you see, already have seen the case of tobacco plant. When the virus infects the plant, it shows a kind of leaf curling. There are small yellow spots, a mosaic net-like structure formation in a case of plants. In case of animals, there are thousands of viruses which are now known. Few examples are देखना है तो foot and mouth disease in animals and swine flu. Which virus actually causes swine flu? Anyone? कौन सा वायरस स्वाइन फ्लू कॉज करता है यार? अभी तो हुआ था, 10 साल भी नहीं हुआ, कितना 10 साल हुआ रहेगा. 2008 और 9 में आई थिंक वी सफर्ड फ्रॉम स्वाइन फ्लू का आउटब्रेक, राइट, इन मुंबई. व्हिच वायरस कॉजेस स्वाइन फ्लू? तो आई थिंक तुम लोग बहुत छोटे रहोगे. तो इट इज H1N1. Please note it down. H1N1 is a virus that causes swine flu. And foot and mouth disease is actually a disease caused by a virus. And it is mostly observed in case of cattle animals, bovines. Okay, so you can say cows, buffaloes, goats, and all. इसमें क्या होता है, when the virus infects the particular animal, उसके मुंह में ना there is a formation of blisters, so like boils like structure, और फिर वो फट जाते हैं and it causes kind of infection. It is very infectious kind of disease, or one of the very important, one of the very difficult kind of situation or challenge I can say, one of the very important problem in a cattle industry. Okay, so that is also caused by a virus. Apart from that, all of you are well aware about smallpox, mumps, herpes. I don't think तुम लोग को कुछ पता मिलेगा इसके बारे में. Smallpox तो पता रहेगा. Smallpox का स्टोरी पता है तुम लोग को? अभी किसी को स्मॉल पॉक्स होता है क्या?
No.
Why not?
चिकन पॉक्स होता है.
चिकन पॉक्स होता है, हाँ, तो स्मॉल पॉक्स क्यों नहीं होता है? So there is a very good story behind it. So I think if you get time, read it. Now because of the time constraint, I don't want to go in that thing because I think there are just 2 more slides and we will be finishing the chapter today itself. So smallpox is also a viral disease, but now it is not there in a one. वो eradicate हो गया है. There is a one scientist known as Dr. Edward Jenner. Sorry, yeah, Dr. Edward Jenner, who is also known as a father of immunology or a father of vaccines. Okay, he actually had worked on a smallpox. There is something called as cowpox. So cowpox is a animal disease which actually happens in a cows. But Dr. Jenner observed that कि जो भी लोग ये थे ना, मतलब वो मिल्कमेट्स बेसिकली, उन लोगों को कभी स्मॉल पॉक्स नहीं होता था. So he was very much ऐसा ये curious कि यार ये मिल्कमेट्स को स्मॉल पॉक्स क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, जबकि मतलब वो टाइम पे स्मॉल पॉक्स वाज अ very big problem, but these milkmaids were not getting any kind of smallpox infection. And then he realized that the cows generally suffer from the problem of cowpox, and because the people are in contact with the cows, even these people get kind of infection, I could say, from the cowpox. But then the cowpox is not that major problem for the human beings. But उससे एक फायदा होता कि हुआ था कि because of this cowpox virus, the human body got some kind of antibodies which were actually effective against smallpox as well, which was a human disease. And based on that, then we started getting the vaccines and all. And that was a time जब actually ये पूरा vaccines बनाना, immunology study करना, ये सब start हुआ था. That's why we actually appreciate a lot the efforts taken by Dr. Edward Jenner. Okay, please read about it. I think you will get to know about it in your 12th standard as well. But it's always good to read such kind of thing. These are very interesting things. Even the common cold, सबको normal सर्दी को मतलब होता ही रहता है कभी ना कभी. It is also caused by a virus known as rhinovirus. Okay, herpes, mumps. These are also kind of viral. So now I am giving you another homework that what are the positive agent of the above mentioned. So foot and mouth किस वजह से होता है, swine flu किस वजह से होता है, smallpox, जो टेबल तुम लोगों को मैंने लास्ट टाइम दिखाया था, you have to just keep on updating the same table, just keep on adding the disease name और उसका positive agent. Apart from that, there is one more big challenge we face worldwide, that is the AIDS, and it is also caused by a virus known as, which virus causes AIDS?
HIV.
Yeah, it is a human immunodeficiency virus, for which we still do not have a proper vaccine. Okay, and I think हमने already पहले भी discuss किया है about HIV. So I will not go in detail, but if you are having any questions, you can always talk about it. Okay. Then the last part is viroids. तो हमने अभी देखा कि okay, when we say a particular animal or organism, it is a cellular structure, either prokaryotic or eukaryotic, और उसमें DNA cells वगैरह सब होता है. But in case of virus, there was no cellular organization. It was just genetic material and a protein. Now, in case of viroids, there is no protein coat as well. It's just a single-stranded RNA which is causing the infection. So viroids are actually nothing but a single-stranded RNA which can cause the infection. They are very much small in a size than even the viruses, and they were actually discovered by a scientist known as T.O. Diner in 1971. Okay, and he said that these are a low molecular weight RNAs, and which was shown to cause a disease in a potato, and the name of the disease was potato spindle tuber disease, PSTD. Okay, potato spindle tuber disease, which was caused by a single-stranded RNA, which is nothing but the viroids. And they observed that these viroids does not contain any kind of protein coat, and that is a basic difference between a virus and viroids. Okay, they might ask you for 1 mark. What is the basic difference between viruses and viroids? So what is the difference? That viruses contain the protein coat, however, viroids do not contain a protein coat. Okay, so it's a very small part. This is just a, I can say, budding field. अभी तक viroids पे इतना research मतलब चालू नहीं हुआ है. Studying viruses itself is a big challenge in many places. Studying viroids का तो थोड़ा और time लगेगा. And then It's not just like कि virus ही या फिर bacteria और fungi ही सिर्फ cause करते infection. There are something called as prions, which is nothing but the proteins which causes infection. So what is prions? These are nothing but the like abnormally folded protein. So we all know protein needs to be folded properly. There was a structure of protein, primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary, जो हम लोगों ने already study किया था. So we all know quaternary protein is something which is a very well folded, which is very important. But sometimes due to some or other reasons क्या होता है, these proteins cannot get folded properly, and this unfolded or abnormally folded protein is a big problem because body उसको realize नहीं कर पाता and they can start causing damage to body. It was found that कि ये जो abnormally folded proteins it is a major problem in the neurological disorders because they actually causes damage to the neurological tissues. So these particular proteins जो ऐसे abnormally folded थे उनको हम लोग बोलते हैं proteins, उनको लोग बोलते हैं prions, which is actually a full form of proteinaceous infectious particle. Okay, मतलब these are not really a virus or a bacteria or a protozoa, nothing like that. It is just a protein which is abnormally folded but has ability to cause a disease. And the example of this particular prions causing the disease is a mad cow disease. Okay, this is a disease usually found in cattle. उसका scientific name is bovine spongiform encephalopathy. Okay, it is BSE, bovine spongiform encephalopathy. Okay, यहाँ पे क्या होता है जब भी कोई cattle by mistakenly ऐसे infected protein खाते हैं तो it was observed that in our country cattle are completely herbivores. Okay, शाकाहारी रहते हैं, but in abroad in few countries they actually used to feed cattle with the meat and all to increase their milk content and all. There are multiple reasons behind that. But they observed that the people who were actually feeding the cattle with the meat were started behaving very much differently. So उनका behavior was not normal. And then जब उन्होंने study किया, they found that they are actually infected with the prions and they are suffering from a disease known as a mad cow disease, which is a neurological disorder. यहाँ पे they face problems in walking, moving, many multiple reasons. They are actually face a lot of problems. And this problem is like इतना ही नहीं कि वो सिर्फ in cattle में रहता. It actually moves forward towards animals also. So by mistake of जैसे beef खाया, and if the cattle or whichever animal it is actually suffering from this particular mad cow disease, then that can actually pass to the human beings also. And in human beings, we call it as a Jacob disease, or the full form is Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, which is caused by a prions. Okay, so this is just for your information. And if you are having any doubts, we can discuss in detail in the next class. Okay, and then there is this one homework for you. If you go in your textbook, you will find this particular table. I want you all to fill this table and write it down in your book properly. If you face any problem, we will discuss in the next class. Okay, so with this, we have successfully completed this particular chapter. So if you are having any queries, any questions, any doubts, any suggestions, I will be happy to answer. And I'm sorry for taking 10 minutes extra, but I hope that's fine. So